Welcome to the Garlic Boys podcast, where we treat friendship like a good recipe treats garlic. You can never have too much of it. We're your hosts. I'm Connor O'Connor.
Strong in you, the garlic is. I mean, does Yoda laugh? You know what? I'm Grogu all grown up. That's me.
I think in episode 8, not 8, 5 he laughs. But it's like the old man Yoda, so like you can't really be sure.
Right. I think in the song, which is canonical to the Star Wars universe, sequels, Stop It Now. I think that could be considered laughing.
Keep packing my head. She goes, you can't stop it now.
Hey, what's that stink? Put a fish in our basket.
I looked under a log and I saw a smaller stick, and I thought that log had a baby.
That log had a child.
Matt, it's been so long since we've talked and hung out and been in each other's presence. Feels like 36 hours, maybe.
Maybe. Not even.
At most, probably.
36 hours is a long time when you're madly in love with somebody, Connor. Luckily, I'm not madly in love with you, so it was pretty easy. It went by pretty quickly.
Well, nice save there. You know, you could have just said no homo.
No homo.
What is this, 2005? Man up and admit you love me, dude.
Is it okay if I say
you're welcome?
I didn't know how to finish that sentence, so I'm glad you did.
I don't know why you're afraid to share your love for me.
Listen. I'm not gay. I just would be gay, or at least bisexual.
If I had to choose one man to kiss, would it be you?
There's maybe 5 people. Maybe
would
5
I happily kiss you in front of all of our closest friends and family? In front of a pastor?
5 people. Writing our names on a piece of paper that's
after putting a ring on your finger, like, oh, never mind. He's eating salt and vinegar Pringles. I think I just lost my attraction.
You got the ick.
You're pickling your tongue as you eat them. That's literally pickling ingredients.
Maybe I like the taste of pickles.
You can like the taste of pickles, but you're becoming a pickle as you eat it.
Yeah, I've got a pickled tongue now. Now forever, I will taste a pickled tongue.
How old were you when you learned that pickles and cucumbers were the same thing?
Like, I'd say middle school. I feel like I could accurately state that it's not super common knowledge until you reach like middle school, right?
Maybe.
Unless you're like a family of picklers, like unless your parents have always pickled and you saw the pickles, the freaking cucumbers go into the pickle jar. No way, because they don't taste the same, you know? Like, that's like, I don't know. I don't even know what comparison I could make, because everything that's like pickled beets, to me, those have always been pickled. You can't eat them not pickled. I know you can, but in my head, you can't. Pickled eggs, but those don't really change much. I mean, they just change color.
Right.
I don't know.
What? Did you know Mr. Nezer was a pickle?
Yeah, because he got the bump.
Right, but he looked so much like Larry. I thought it was just because he was an older cucumber.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I didn't realize he was a pickle. For like when I was a kid, I clearly I know now. Like hey, I know
Goliath was a pickle.
Right.
I mean, at that point, you should have known if Goliath was a pickle.
I don't know. Clearly, I've never been an expert on vegetables.
Mia this week was like, in the last like 24 hours since I saw you last, she was like, yeah, when we have kids, we're definitely going to show them VeggieTales. I'm like, why must you curse them to to this existence? I love VeggieTales. I'm messing around, obviously, but you're definitely not going to make friends by saying you love VeggieTales.
I did. Were they other
Who?
kids that also loved VeggieTales? Yes, but that's not the point.
See, that's the problem. Is you're secluding yourself to a very closed group of homeschool and youth group individuals, children's church even.
I can make friends at church. I've done it for years.
Yeah. No, I've made a lot of friends at church, mostly out of necessity.
Probably, yeah. It was just like a trauma bond for a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, how was your last 24 hours, 36 hours?
Not too bad. You know, just been getting up, getting on top of some things that I got behind on, you know. Finding the motivation to post on social media again.
Yeah.
I think it's going well.
Yeah. Yeah. I've enjoyed the last couple of posts.
Yeah. Check out our Instagram and our TikTok and everything if you haven't. I'm not great at it, but like I keep putting stuff out there, hoping it works.
It'll catch somebody's eye. We've gotten a few new followers, you know, every time on the social medias.
It's all about patience, you know.
Listen,
life is just full of patience.
I was actually my mom today made a joke, but like a joke that was meant to be reassuring in a way. We were in church and the pastor was talking about something to do with David like God not putting stuff in your path before you're ready or something along those lines. I don't remember, if I'm being 100% honest. I was making Hero Forge characters the whole time.
Wow. Come on, at least sleep through church like I did. If you're gonna
listen.
I woke up at 12:30 today and I was like, well, guess I'm not going to church.
Goodness. Most of the time I can focus, and it actually helps me focus most of the time when I do art or some drawing or Hero Forge even. I was so engrossed in this character. Like I was just tuning out everything. I was trying to listen though. And he was talking about David and Saul, and one of the points he made was about you know, David and Saul. So and it was something about like God putting things in your path when you're ready. I don't know. Like, and so mom leaned over to me. She's like, maybe that's it. Maybe God's just saying like, you're not ready to have fame and fortune. Because like that's what it was, that you, with fame and fortune, pride comes before the fall, all that. It was all about pride, was today's lesson, if you will. And she was saying that maybe we're just not ready to have fame and fortune because it would go to our head and the pride would get to us and the enemy would have a foothold in that fame and fortune. I was like, I don't know if this is as encouraging as you think it is, Mom, but thank you.
So Kelly thinks we're not growing the way we want to be because we can't handle it.
Because God doesn't think, or I guess God knows. God is omniscient and present and all the other omnis. And he knows that he's Omni-Man, honestly.
No.
Isn't that what that show's about? It's about
I don't
time.
think so.
Anyway, but yeah, he knows that we wouldn't be able to handle the fame and fortune because we're just not ready yet. We're not ready for that.
So Kelly was basically like, "Dang, even God knows you guys suck."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. Thanks, Mom.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. What you eating, bud? Is that ice cream?
Sadness, apparently. No, it's ice cream. It's the typical fudge brownie ice cream again.
Nice. Man, I really need to get myself some ice cream. Something to snack on that isn't like 3-month-old salt and vinegar Pringles.
Well, I have a fun thing we could talk about that's technically snack related.
Heck yeah. I would love to hear this totally unknown to me topic that you have brought forth for us today. Hit me with it.
If you turn attention behind me here.
What? No, you don't have a background that totally tells what your topic is going to be whatsoever.
So everyone, if you're aware, Taco Bell has been releasing a lot of new items this year to help like kind of rebrand themselves. They have the Cantina menu, which is okay. I've tried it. Yeah, it just tastes like Taco Bell but with cabbage.
Yeah.
Though that new avocado salsa isn't too bad.
Yeah, I like it.
But what I'm looking forward to is Taco Bell is making new products using Baja Blast at some point this year. And now
Nice.
I would like to know if you want to talk about these from what I think is going to be the best or the worst, or from the worst to the best.
Oh, I think we definitely have to go worst to best. Build that anticipation up for the listeners here.
Okay. So what I think is going to be the worst is their Baja Blast flavored cinnamon twists. Now they might not have cinnamon on it, or just like it could just be the twists.
Yeah,
I think that's what they did for the strawberry. But so then there'll be just Baja Blast flavored twists.
see, but the strawberry ones were actually pretty decent. Like, I didn't love them. They weren't my favorite thing, but they were okay.
I'm just not a huge fan of the twists.
Oh, see, that's fair.
And
It's like a crunchy churro.
kind of, but I don't think churros should be crunchy, but that's another topic.
Fair.
But it's the Baja Blast flavoring themselves, because it doesn't look great in the photo that I got, because the photo itself is very blurry and grainy. But in other promotional materials I've seen, it just looks like blue chunks, sort of like nerds.
Honestly, yeah. See, that's weird. Honestly, I don't think that the delicious, like, citrusy flavor, I guess. Like, what even is Baja Blast? Is it citrus? I think it's citrus. I don't know.
Citrus lime, I think.
Yeah. So the delicious citrusy lime, whatever flavor of Baja Blast doesn't really, in my opinion, go well with the cereal-esque flavor of just plain twists. So I can see what you're saying there.
If I remember correctly from what I've seen online, the cinnamon twists themselves are like, the twist is just a rigatoni noodle, or like the spiral ones,
Yeah.
deep fried.
No, it's not. I got it. There's no freaking way that it's freaking pasta. What is the Taco Bell twists made of? Cinnamon. Oh, well, that's crispy puffed corn twists sprinkled with cinnamon sugar. So they're basically cereal.
I don't know.
But this Reddit post, which I don't know if you can believe Reddit post, this person said, yes, they're pasta. They're made from Duro's pasta. You might be able to find them in the Hispanic section of your grocery store, which I guess the Hispanic section, maybe it's like a rice pasta. I don't know.
This recipe I just found, like on a recipe blog, also says the same thing with the Spyro Duros.
Okay, so yeah, maybe it's like a rice
Spyro
ricey.
Duos are a popular Mexican snack that is made of puffed wheat.
There you go. So, sure. That's
They may
crazy.
look like regular pasta, but they are not. They are made with wheat flour, cornstarch, salt, and baking soda. And these ingredients help them expand when they are put into hot oil. The recipe can't be made with regular rotini as they will not expand like the Doros.
Okay, see, there you go. Still interesting that it's like a pasta, I guess.
It's
I put that in
crazy.
quote, listeners.
It's crazy how much they look like rotini noodles.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like in the picture I'm showing, it kind of just looks like they're the orange, like the tomato ones from like a garden pesto
Yeah, yeah.
mix.
Like something you'd find at Aldi, you know?
Yeah. You ever do a tricolored rotini?
I can't say that I have.
Welcome to Connor's Cooking Corner. What you're going to do is you're going to get some garden rotini. They have the 3 flavors of tomato, basil, and regular, just like green, orange, and white. You're gonna start cooking those up. In a pan, you're going to cook up some chicken, mushrooms, and spinach. Use your typical seasonings that you would for your chicken and everything. But you're going to make a fake basil, which fake pesto, actually. Because normal pesto, you have pine nuts. I can't eat pine nuts. And so you just mix some basil, olive oil, salt, pepper, and oregano together. And then you mix all of the vegetable or all of your mix-ins with your noodles, and you mix that together. It's a great garden pesto rotini. That is fun for those who have a nut allergy.
See, the way that I see garden pesto rotini, like the tri-colored rotini, is essentially Fruit Loops. They're all the same flavor. Like you can tell me that they're 3 different flavors, I will never believe you. It's just food coloring.
Well, that's how Fruit Loops actually are. They're all the same flavor.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Is that essentially that pasta is Fruit Loops to me.
I guess so. I can tell a difference.
I mean, when you cover it in sauce, I mean, you eat plain noodles.
Not all the time. I don't know why this has become.
I'm not saying you only eat plain noodles. I'm saying you do eat plain noodles. And yes, the flavor may come out a little bit more, but when you cover it in sauce, they're all the same. They could be made from completely like opposite ingredients, and I would still say they are the exact same because they're covered in sauce. All you're tasting is the sauce and the texture of the noodles.
So you're telling me that if I made you homemade pastas, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference because they would all just taste like pasta?
Because
You don't.
as long as they're covered in a sauce, if I'm eating them plain or buttered, that's different.
Well, yeah, you put a sauce on anything, and that's going to become the dominant flavor. That's the point of the sauce.
Right. So there's no point. Like I guess what I'm saying is I don't understand the point of flavoring 3 different flavored noodles if the sauce is going to cover the flavor of the noodles.
It's not just about the flavoring; it's about the coloring and the nutritions, like the nutritional part of it. Like the spinach and tomato have nutritional factors that you don't get in regular pasta.
I'm gonna be completely real with you. I don't eat at all based on nutritional value. Never have, never will. Sorry, that's why I'm gaining weight. Because I don't care. I eat for the taste. I eat for the flavor, you know?
No, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Not at all. So what's the next thing on this list that you have here? The second worst.
What you see behind me is this crazy like seafoam green
Is it like cheesecake?
pie. It's like a Baja Blast, like key lime pie, basically.
Oh, I would smash that pie so hard into my mouth.
Now they're gonna be selling this at Taco Bell. And my question though is it going to be like when Burger King started selling those pie slices and they were like in cardboard containers, or am I going to be able to roll up to Taco Bell, throw down $12, and get an entire pie?
I assume it's going to be in sliced like cardboard containers, either cardboard or plastic. But cardboard if they're trying to protect the planet, I guess. I don't know. I would eat that if it tastes anything like if it's got like the citrusy notes like or like the kind of sour. I don't want to say sour, but kind of sour flavoring that like a key lime pie has. I'd be down.
I gotta know what the texture on this thing is going to be though, because it kind of looks a little jelly right now.
Right.
And if it tastes like it has the texture of a jelly or a gelatin based snack product, because the one specific one is copywritten. So like the generic term for that is a gel snack.
Yeah.
It's just a fun fact that I've learned over the years. I think it's weird when you have things like that are like, because like
there's like this stuff right here. I will never not call this. Are we allowed to like? Are we gonna say this, or are we gonna avoid the words?
I guess we can say that. I mean, yeah, like how chapstick is now like the de facto word
Kleenex.
for lip balms, Kleenex, Band-Aids. Like those are all brands that have just become the de facto version of it,
which is wild. I do like that. I mean, I don't like it as much because it does. I mean, if other people, it promotes monopolies. However, it is what it is. It also takes away from, I guess it like it benefits and harms because it takes away from the power that the name has. Because if you're calling everything Band-Aids, then nothing's a Band-Aid. You know what I mean? If everything's Band-Aid, nothing's a Band-Aid. But at the same time,
okay, thank you for that syndrome logic of if everyone's super, no one is.
I mean, realistically though, that if everybody's important, nobody's important, because it just doesn't really it's not right, honestly, because everybody should be important just in different ways. If that doesn't matter, that part doesn't matter.
Get participation trophies too there, bud.
I never said that. I said everybody's important, not that everybody just gets by.
You start taking classes at liberal arts college and you don't learn how to do art, but you got the liberal down pat there, didn't you, bud?
Holy Lord.
Yeah, you should start saying his name a little bit more often in your prayers. You need Jesus.
Yeah.
He didn't believe in just giving away things for free.
He absolutely did, actually. Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, I was getting into satire.
Right. And I was playing a liberal arts major talking.
Sorry, I thought you were just talking to me regularly. See, like you're really into the character, and this is why I cast it in this role. Do you want to take it again from the top?
Yeah, right from the top.
You dirty commie. Sorry.
So anyway, next
item number 3.
Yeah, next one.
It is a tub of Mountain Dew Baja Blast gelato.
100%. I will be consuming this by the pintful.
Luckily for you, it's sold by the pintful.
Well, that's great.
For those of you who don't know, gelato is the Italian version of ice cream. It consists of 35% air, which is way less than American versions.
I'm sorry. Hold on. What?
What?
Did you say 35% air?
Yes.
As in
air.
What? I'm very confused right now. What do you mean?
Like air is. I'm not sure. I'm reading it right now. Can you give me a second?
Hey, I'm
You're
sorry.
asking questions where I don't have the answer yet.
You came prepared with this topic. You should have had everything figured out.
I didn't
Just like
realize I
I
was going
do.
to start giving a history lesson on gelato.
Just like I do with every name that I've ever had and every topic that I've ever had, Connor. Come in prepared.
Dude,
Or
you've
don't
not
come in at
prepared for
all.
one thing in your life.
Cramming is my most important skill.
I can't figure out why the air.
Like
Hold
I
on.
guess they just aerate it more like that kind of makes
Yes.
I don't understand what air has to do with ice cream or gelato.
Look, there's 65 to 65% or 60 to 65% total water, 6 to 9% total butterfat, and 25 to 35% air. And it's usually served with a spade instead of an ice cream scooper. These are the main differences that I'm finding on Wikipedia. I don't know why those are all important.
Okay. So the only thing between ice cream and gelato is the air quality.
I don't think it's the only thing.
I'm sure it has to do with the ingredients, right? Like gelato is more like fruit based, I guess, and ice cream is more milk based.
Well, both of them are based on sherbet or sorbet.
Oh
Both.
man, I'm confused.
There's sherbet, then there was sorbet. Um,
Sherbet with one R.
yes.
What the F is the difference between gelato and ice cream? See, that's all you gotta type, dude. Gelato contains less milk fat than ice cream. That took me 2 seconds. It is churned at a slower rate. It is typically served at a warmer temperature, introducing less air to the dessert and yielding a softer and denser texture. I solved the quandary by the power of Google.
Wow. Thank you for making it so that I'm not the only one doing work on this podcast.
Well, maybe if you did it more efficiently, I wouldn't have to step in.
You should step in either way. You're a co-host.
Is that all of the lovely Taco Bell additives?
These are all the ones that were like dessert based. I will let you know I'm still super excited about the giant Cheez-It.
The giant Cheez-It?
Oh, they're doing the partnership with Cheez-It to make a Cheez-It shaped tostada. And so like you can buy just the tostada with toppings on it, but you can also get it in the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Oh, that's awesome.
This was there's something that they tested out in certain markets a few years ago, and the McElroys talked about it, but it hasn't really been active since then.
Okay. What I think they should do is a Baja Blast flavored hot sauce. I think that would go very well in their Baja endeavor.
It depends if PepsiCo allows for something like that. Because
Yeah.
I know, like, if it doesn't like go along with what the brand thinks it should be, then like certain things like that won't be available.
PepsiCo would be nothing without Mountain Dew Baja Blast served originally exclusively at Taco Bell. PepsiCo would be nothing.
I'm not saying that PepsiCo is not a profitable and accepted company. I think they make good products and they put out things that are enjoyed by a lot of people. I'm also not saying that to keep their skin in the game when it comes to serving drinks at fast food restaurants, that they had to then purchase several companies and put them under their own company, and so that they were forced to then serve those products.
Right.
I'm not saying any of that had to happen. But do you think Taco Bell would serve Pepsi if it didn't happen?
It would 100% serve Baja Blast. Like Baja Blast has become as much of a staple of Taco Bell as the beefy 5-layer Supreme has. Not Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito.
I was about to say, you're bringing up a whole burrito. I have no.
Actually, a beefy 5-layer Supreme burrito. Taco Bell, hit us up for some ideas because I got some really good ones. Because that
I'm telling you the truth, guys. Beefy 5-layer Supreme was my nickname in high school.
What I might do is get a burrito Supreme, then get a beefy 5-layer burrito. Take the outer layer with all the cheese off of the beefy 5-layer burrito, put it over top of the burrito Supreme.
But the problem is the beefy 5-layer only has 4 ingredients inside of it, and then the shell. That's what makes it 5 layers.
Right. But this will be a cheesy Supremo, cheesy 6-layer burrito. Cheesy
a beefy Supreme layer burrito.
A beefy Supreme layer burrito. Should we do a cheesy Supreme layer burrito? No. Is there any beef in a beefy 5 or
is there any beef beefy 5-layer burrito
in a burrito Supreme? I don't think there is. I think it's just beef.
Is there any beef
between Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and
beefy 5-layer burrito
and Mike Tyson?
Oh, there is beef in there. I'm so glad we were able to figure that one out.
Dang. Okay, so in a burrito Supreme, there is beans, beef, lettuce, tomato, cheese, and sour cream. So that's 6. We could do a beefy 6-layer Supreme. Is that what you said?
The beefy 5-layer is the tortilla, cheese sauce, rice, beans, beef.
Is there rice in a beefy 5-layer burrito?
I swear there's rice in a beefy 5-layer burrito.
I'm losing it here today. Okay, so we'll just add to the layers then. If a burrito Supreme, what did I say, had 6 layers?
There's not rice. What am I thinking of?
I don't know. If a burrito Supreme has 6 layers, I guess that's not including the tortilla. So if the tortilla counts as a layer,
it doesn't. So what's going on is you have your beef, you got the sour cream, and then you got shredded cheese, then you got a tortilla, and then you got the nacho cheese, and then you got a secondary tortilla.
Right. So Supreme has 6 layers of ingredients inside it. Then if we're adding another layer with the cheese, do either of the tortillas there count? So
no, but then
if
we treat it as the secondary tortilla with cheese, then it's just like the cheesy gordita crunch. So then I think we have to do the cheesy 6-layer burrito.
Or beefy 7-layer dip. I know it's not actually dip, but we could just say beefy 7-layer burrito. Beefy 7-layer burrito.
You know, I saw this recipe today of someone at like a restaurant that makes a French onion soup burger.
French onion soup burger. How do you do that without the soup? You know,
you ready for this?
The most important ingredient is the soup.
They take their bun, they warm it up on the grill top.
Okay.
And put some of the cheese, like Gruyere, on top. They then cook their patties, smash them down, season them, put onions on them. 2 patties, both get onions. You flip them so the onions are kind of cooked into the patty. Put sliced Gruyere down, put them together, put them on the bun, and then you get a good au jus on the side. Yeah, dip it. So like it's a French dip, but there's onions, so it's a French onion.
Okay. Alternate idea. Hollow out the entire center of the burger except for the bottom layer and just flood it with soup.
Like a bread bowl, but a burger bowl.
Exactly. A burger bowl. You'd have to enclose it, obviously. So you would essentially take a bread bowl. You would layer it inside the bread bowl like a burger with all of the ingredients layered like you want them, and then you would just fill the entire cavity with the au jus.
I feel like this is no longer a burger then.
It is a burger because it's got the bread, it's got the burger, which is the most important ingredient in a burger.
Right, but if the burger is then encased fully in the bread, basically what you're making is
It's
just
a hot
beef,
pocket.
beef Wellington soup.
Don't let Gordon Ramsay hear you say that. Okay. Is that all the Baja Blast things that Taco Bell's introducing from best to worst? From worst to best?
Yeah, I guess so. I do have one.
Oh, never mind.
I do have one. I just have one more thing before we get to you. Hey,
I'll allow
okay.
it. I'll allow it.
Yeah. Last episode, last week, you left at one point to go grab the t-shirts that you wanted to show off to me.
I did do that. Yes, you were.
And as you were gone, I talked about how I'm always annoyed when you just talk and make fun of me to the audience while I'm not there. So I told you, if you listen to the episode, listen to the math problem that I gave you, then got that math problem correctly, you could have my pair of duck socks that you wanted so badly. Matt, would you like to give me your answer?
Just 7.
Is that your final answer?
Ah.
That is severely incorrect.
Yeah, no. You released the episode this morning. Guess what I did from then until now? I was at my parents' house, so no way I'm listening to the episode. Not happening. Not even possible. So sorry.
I asked you to solve for x and the problem x plus 3 minus 7 equals 14.
Hold on. I can do this. Hold on. X plus 3 minus 7 equals 14. Guess what you do, guys? You add this. No, I'm sorry. You subtract the 7, which would make the other side. No, you would add 7 because it's minus 7. You add 7 to the one side, then you add 7 to the other. I don't know math. Do you add 7? I think you do. X plus 3 minus 7. So yeah, you add 7 to 14, which would be 21. And then you subtract 3, which would be 17. No, 18. X is 18.
Final answer.
Final answer.
That is correct, but unfortunately, you didn't do it within the time frame, and so you don't get the prize.
Man. Now he was hedging his bets. If I had somehow just like,
my God, there wasn't a bet made. I knew you weren't going to listen.
That's still, whether you know the outcome or think you know the outcome or not, the possibility of me listening to the episode was not 0.
Yeah, that's why I said Matt only listens till he figures out what his name's going to be. And what I figured, what I've listening to today's, what I realized is you knew what your name was going to be. And so you listened to 0% of the episode.
Part of it. I'm not doing the editing like you are. I'm part of the show. Why would I listen to myself talk for an hour?
Boost our ratings.
I would like to tell you what I brought to talk about today.
Also, really, it wasn't an hour because somehow I got it to get to exactly 58 minutes.
Nice.
And I'm very proud of myself for that. Now you can talk.
Yeah. It's a sad day, and we need to have a moment of silence for my inner child. Now that that's over, so I have officially given up all but, I should say, 99% of my Pokemon cards.
Can't believe you did this.
I have been collecting Pokemon cards since I was an infant. No, not that long. Since I was a child, quite young. I collected Pokemon cards for a while, and then the like the late elementary school, middle school age, stupid me wanted to fit in and not be made fun of anymore. So guess what I did? I sold them. I started selling my Pokemon cards. Probably sold some pretty valuable ones because at the time had some pretty good ones. Also, as a child, I may have left some in my pocket and may or may not have put them in the washing machine. And I may or may not have completely ruined all my cards. Not all my cards, a lot of my cards.
Every kid has a story about that, though.
Right. I actually wanted to go to the bathroom at one point and look at my Pokemon cards. I don't know why, but I was in the bathroom and pulled them out. Guess where they all went? Every single one of them in the toilet.
There's no better space to inspect your cards than on the toilet.
I had some cards that were completely torn in half and taped back together because my one friend's mom, who I gave him the card, said Pokemon was of the devil, and she tore it in half and threw it away. And he felt horrible, so he taped it back together and gave it back to me the next day. It was a Squirtle, like first edition, I'm pretty sure. So I'm a little upset about that one. I was a kid. Obviously, kids don't take care of cards very well, except for one kid, apparently, the kid I gave him to. And so he's really into Pokemon cards. He understands the importance and the value of Pokemon cards. Any that he knows are valuable, worth money, blah, 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 he will sleeve and put in like a hard plastic case to completely protect them so they don't, devalue, depreciate, whatever word you want to use. Anyway, so I decided to give him my cards after taking the ones that I liked and wanted to keep. I have a couple really awesome ones that I love quite a bit. It was a sad day. He was ecstatic though. He thought he was coming over to my mom's house because my mom's friends with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was coming over today at family dinner along with all of her kids and stuff and her. And he thought that we were just like showing each other cards, maybe trading a few, stuff like that. And I was fully prepared. The night before, I took out all the cards that I wanted to keep. And when we came in, he was looking at them. He's like, man, some of these are really cool. Found out some of them are fakes. That's fun. That's always
because
great.
you and I went to the same card shop when we were kids, unknowingly.
Yeah, some of them are fakes. And so that's a little disappointing. But some of them were very real and worth a pretty penny. And wow, I lost my train of thought. He thought we were showing / trading, and he was like so astounded that I was giving him my entire collection of Pokemon cards, whether or not some of them were fake. It's not a lot of them. Like there was maybe a couple handfuls. I at one point probably bought a pack online and they came in and they were all fake. I don't know. I did notice there was something weird about them, but I just thought that maybe they were from a different country, or maybe that they were you know what I'm talking about, like they were updating their materials, because that's always possible. Like 1 year to the next they could completely change materials. I didn't know, and I didn't care because they were cool looking cards. So I kept some of them. Apparently, didn't know this one. I have a pretty really decent, a really decent condition like 1999 Hitmonchan holofoil. And I was looking online. If it's real, which I'm pretty sure it is, may or may not be worth like $300. So that's cool. That was actually one. He looked at it and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "What? Like, it's a cool card. I know it's like from the '90s and it's probably valuable a little bit." He's like, "This could be worth a lot of money," and I was like, "Oh, well, that's cool." And his mom was like, "Make sure you offer it back to him in case he didn't know that." And like, she was like saying that in case I didn't want to give that away, like I didn't have to. All right, super sweet. And the fact that he willingly did that shows like his integrity as like a collector. But it was
And so when you did take it back from him, and like, did he start crying or?
I didn't take it back. I let him keep it. 'Cause I don't.
This is my ticket out of this town, kid.
I don't collect. I never collect for the money. I know someday maybe like my great grandchildren are going to be selling my stuff, and they're gonna, it would be nicer for them if it was valuable. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I take care of my stuff. Like my Funko Pops and stuff. Yeah, they're out of the box, but I don't just neglect them. I take care of them. They're not in the sun losing color, stuff like that. Like I like them and I want to see them, so I take them out of the box. Same with Pokemon cards. They may not be pristine 10 out of 10 condition, all of them, but like I've collected them. I look at them and I don't wear gloves when I'm unboxing, just to make sure I don't get any fingerprints or oils on them. Like that's not why I do this. I don't do it for the money. I do it because I enjoy it and I like the look of the things. So that's why I'm glad some of the good ones were in good condition. He was like sleeving them and be like, "Man, I could get," because they rate them out of 10. He's like, "I could get a 7 off this one. I'd get an 8 or a 9 off this one." I was like, I mean, you do you, kid, but I don't know what he plans to do with them. He plays a little bit. Sorry, getting my sock off because I have a hair in between my toes from this stupid sock. Sorry. He plays a little and he enjoys like collecting them too. But I don't know. Whatever he does with them is what he does with them. My dad has a little horror story about his mom, my grandma, selling some of his stuff, and the kid like burned it. Like baseball cards that could have been worth hundreds of thousands today. I don't know. Burned. Just thrown away, burned, and reduced to ash.
Wild.
Yeah. This kid was a monster. He took all of my dad's like old models and stuff, like model cars and stuff like that. Baseball cards, stuff that, I mean, the models maybe not, but the cards 100% could have been valuable today.
Oh yeah.
Burned.
I have a shoebox of sports cards somewhere because like my uncle gave them to me when I was a kid. I was like, I don't care about these guys. Like I don't
even know who these guys are.
I appreciated the gift, and like he saw me collecting Pokemon cards and he was like, cards.
They're all the same, right? Imagine
you know that idea of like male bonding of like, oh, here's something you like, right? And like you're close.
Imagine coming up to a Pokemon tournament and you just slap down freaking Steph Curry's baseball or basketball card. Gosh darn it. I don't know sports. You just slapped out a baseball card and you're like ready to go.
What's cool about it is we do have like a bunch of stuff from when Michael Jordan was playing baseball because he lived out in California. Like he was going to school out there.
Right.
I think during that time, or maybe like just before, I think that was during the time that he was playing baseball. And so like there's a program from that season, like just a bunch of like promotional stuff like that was given out. And that's probably worth something, right? I mean,
yeah,
I'm assuming a lot of people might have saved it. That's the big thing though. Like, yeah, it's something that could have only been given out at that one time, but like everyone might have saved it, and so like the niche market of people that would like that probably already has it. And that's
Right.
the rough part about collecting, is you never know like how much
Collect-
value something is actually going to have.
at this point, with the collector's market being huge, I'm talking everything. Everybody collects everything. Everybody's got trading cards. Everybody's got little mini figures. With the trade or the collector's market, it's very hard to have natural valuable items.
Right.
Is whatever the inherent value of, hey, Funko made 5 of these and that's all that exists in it, that's all that will ever exist. So it's now like it's a forced valuability. Yeah. I'm not saying it wasn't always a forced valuability, because there's nothing has value in reality. And I'm getting really gross and existential on you, but the only value that anything has is what we put into it.
Right.
And so
the more there is of something, though, the less value people are willing to put into it.
Sure.
Because it's like, well, I could pay you $20 for it, or I can just go see if somebody else has it for cheaper. And so that's really like, if you have the Funko app, when you scan your Funkos in, it's like, how much is this being resold for, or how much is this going for? And so that's the value of it. Yeah. And so the value of your collection will go up and down. I have some that used to be worth $50 that now aren't worth that much, and some that used to not be worth that much that are now worth up there.
Yeah.
Like my most expensive has fluctuated through a few different one of these. The one being my Raphael for a while was my most expensive Funko Pop. And then as the Ninja Turtle popularity went down, it just wasn't that popular. And so it wasn't that expensive anymore. But then the Spider-Mans pointing at each other became one that was like sought after, liked, and wanted. And so that became more valuable. And just like it ebbs and flows like that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I have a garlic spotlight for this week if you want to. So this is a new show that is going to be on the Dropout app.
Ooh.
I think we've talked about this a few times on here, but if you don't know what Dropout is, it is the streaming service that was started by the former people that were on College Humor. They have a few great shows that I like to watch. Actually, I watch most of their shows, if I'm honest.
Actually, the
Dimension 20, Make Some Noise, Breaking News. This new one is called Smartypants.
Okay.
And what it is it's very similar to the trend of where like you and your friends would have PowerPoint nights.
Yeah.
Where you create a PowerPoint presentation based on any sort of topic that you want to talk about, and you present it to your friends. But this is professional comedians taking silly things and presenting on it like it's a serious society that's coming together to learn secrets that they have learned and teach each other, so that they have that secret knowledge. Okay. The first episode is on birthdays, the cookout, and vegetables. Now I know what you're thinking. Hold on, I had to click on it. I know what you're thinking. What does that mean? The first episode has Mike Trap breakdown, which is the best birthday using scientific evidence and research.
What? No.
The second presenter is a gentleman named Demi, and unfortunately, I am not able to pronounce his last name. I usually try, but I'm trying to be so respectful to this man because I think he gives the funniest presentation of the day, and I don't want to show you any disrespect by saying your name wrong. I do apologize, but he does a presentation on what white characters are invited to the cookout.
Okay.
if you watch the trailer for this show, at one point you see him presenting, and it says, "I think Spider-Man should say the N-word." Um,
Wow. All right.
and it's if that doesn't hook you in to watch the show, I don't know what else will. And finally, Vic Michaelis talks about how vegetables are not real and how they were created by the Dole Company to make you buy less valuable produce.
There you go.
So you check that out. Dropout is an incredible streaming service because not only were they exempt during the strike,
Yeah.
because they pay their writers and actors fair way above SAG minimums and writing minimums.
They were actually part of a lot of the strikes, though. Like they were out there picketing for a lot of it.
Their CEO Foley is transparent about a lot of things. Like, guys, we're doing better than ever, and I could be taking more money from you, but I'm not. Like, it's still the same price it was when I signed up.
So kill to work for them.
These $5.99 a month.
Yeah,
and it's or like $60 for a year or something. Some reduced rate if you do the year, but it's so incredibly cool how they're able to make such great content very, very inexpensively, at least on our consumer end.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make me it doesn't drop in quality really ever.
No,
actually, things are getting better and better from them.
During the pandemic, they did like some remote episodes. I know specifically Game Changer I watched during the pandemic, and they went remote for that. But like, that's not. It still didn't cut down in the quality. Like, obviously, you're gonna have something similar to what we're doing here, but they were still like, it was still incredible, still an amazing show, and they played it so well. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you're saying.
So this is my recommendation. If you don't have Dropout, go get it.
Yeah.
Watch all those other shows, but keep a lookout for Smartypants. I think it's an incredible show hosted by Rinkas.
You almost had it.
I can't remember where the syllables are placed.
Reika.
Reika's Sankar?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I can't remember where the syllables are placed, and this is more of just me being an idiot.
It's okay, because Dropout, you can sponsor us. We can read your stuff right off the paper and probably get it right 96% of the time.
Look, Sam, we all make mistakes.
We can't work for you unless you hire us. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But we could sponsor you, or you could sponsor us. You know, we'll.
Or hey, I'll just keep shouting you out just to give me a free membership. I don't need.
There you go.
That's all I need. I just apologize to Sam there. I should apologize to Reika for messing up your name. I'm so sorry. I didn't do that. That was very insensitive white male of me.
We apologize to everybody on the Dropout.
I'm going to do better.
We will forget and say your name wrong. It's going to happen, but we'll still talk about you because we love you.
Oh yeah, this season of Dimension 20 has been fantastic.
Yeah, I bet.
It's junior year Fantasy High, and it just keeps getting funnier and funnier.
So I know that Brennan Lee Mulligan doesn't always DM. I don't know if it's like they do an arc with somebody else as a DM, or if he always does it. I honestly don't know. Brennan Lee Mulligan, I love him, and watching him from afar. As far as like, don't give me that look.
I feel like you're about to say something.
Brennan Lee Mulligan reminds me of the guy from high school that I did not like. And I think that's part of my, like, he's good and he's really good at DMing. But sometimes just, oh boy, sometimes when he goes on his rants, I'm just like, dude, I want to punch you in your face. But sometimes it's also needed, and I think it's hilarious. there's a healthy balance there, you know.
It's
I
okay
hate
to be
him.
wrong.
I love him. Love-hate relationship there.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, yeah, no, he doesn't always DM.
Okay.
There have been other guest DMs, but he's the main one.
Right. Well, I know this was like, I know we're out of time. But it might have been like last year when Hank Green was on it. I need to watch that because two incredible minds. Like Brennan is insanely smart. And if he's prideful, it's because he deserves to be. But so is Hank Green, insanely smart. And I would love nothing more than to see two of them go toe to toe, like I saw in the clips.
So that series is called Mentopolis, and they're all playing like functions of the brain inside a cityscape inside a brain.
Right.
And Hank Green is hyperfixation, aka the fix.
I love that.
And so he does that a lot in there, where he literally intimidates people through facts.
I know. I saw the clips and I'm like, this is the most perfect thing I've ever seen ever.
That's one of the systems where they're using kids on bikes.
Okay.
And so that
I need to renew my Dropout subscription, and Connor, I think you have convinced me.
if I've convinced at least one other person besides Matt, I will count this as a win. I can sing Dropout praises.
Person from Brussels. I know you. I know you got us. You got us, dude.
I know you're listening. We see the numbers.
We see the numbers every week.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's.
Oh man, that's become a running bit now. You know, like they don't even respond ever to my call outs.
I think they're scared.
That's fine. That's completely understandable. But I would appreciate something, just a little something.
A little something.
A little something. Sorry. Continue.
No, sorry, that's inappropriate.
Connor, just continue.
Every time I try to talk, you start talking. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of The Garlic Boy.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Don't even look at me. You know what?
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of The Garlic Boy. If you would like to see more from us, you can always check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook to see when we post and when new episodes of not only this show, but our other two shows, TGB One Shots and the Clever Boy Quiz, the show, are live. You can also head on over to patreon.com/The Garlic Boys Productions to support. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. You can also head on over to our Patreon, help support us there. If you'd like free unreleased episodes of shows, including our TGB One Shots after show bonus actions, you can head on over and support us on our $10 a month tier. But if you just like to support us and let us know we're doing a great job, you can give us $3 a month through there. If you'd like merch from us, you can head on over to our Redbubble store, find your favorite kind of item and your favorite design, and purchase them through that store. And if you'd like to watch video versions of the podcast, you can head on over to youtube.com/@thegarlicboys and find full video versions of the podcast that you are listening to right now. Matt, any final thoughts for this week?
I heard you freaking out. Are you okay, bud? Like,
no.
I just want to make sure that everyththing's chill. Like,
I saw the shiniest giant forehead that I've seen in forever.
Well, Connor, there's a problem with that. Nobody will ever believe you.
We're recording.
On that note, yeah, but I didn't make a sound, so the camera wasn't on me. So try to sneak a feet pic. I'm so sorry. That was that's my final thought. Yeah.
Trying to sneak a feet pic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to us, and as always, please remember to stay
garlicky.
garlicky.
Man, if you want a feet pic, you just gotta ask.
Do you think we could sell feet pics?
We definitely could.
Patreon.com/the Color Boys.